Hey, how's it going, YouTube? It's TAG97 again. Today I got something very special. We're going over something that I was highly asked of my viewers and subscribers to do a review on. So today we're going over the Trijicon RMR dual illuminated reflex sight. And also, I'm pretty sure you guys are aware that I have an Instagram. Just go to the description down below, find the links, click the one that has Instagram, go straight to my IG, hit that follow button, and you get anything that's exclusively for Instagram. And you get to know what's happening that following week or upcoming events that may be happening in future. I want to thank my viewers, subscribers, and of course my Patreon donors. I love and appreciate you all very, very much. A big number of followers this week, so that's really awesome. I really appreciate it. But don't forget, guys, to hit the subscribe button. It's really more important if you guys hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Like I said, I always appreciate everything you guys do for me. I'm never going to say anything bad about that, but make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. I really love and appreciate you all. Trust me. I really do. Okay, so before I start with my specifications like I normally do for my videos, I need to say one disclaimer real quick. So Trijicon did not send this to me out of, hey, give us a good review so people will buy the product. No. I purchased this with my own hard-earned money from work, so I will give an honest review like I always do with any type of firearm or equipment associated with firearms or just any type of gear layout. Another thing is I bought this way back in April because Trijicon told me that the COVID-19 has set them back and they're working half-staff, so they're not really working up to the full potential, so everything's really pushed back. I had to make a couple phone calls to ask because I had people breathing down my neck saying, hey, I need you to review this product. You need to review it for me. So I told Trijicon, I'm like, hey, can you guys do me a solid? You know, I talked to a supervisor or someone of power, and this is what they sent me. So they finally sent out my product, and I'm sorry it took so long, guys. I know you've been asking for a while, so my apologies. All right, so there's one more thing I forgot to mention. So even though you're probably seeing this in my hand, you're like wondering, TAG97, you lied to me. You put clickbait saying this is an open box thing. Yes, it is. Calm down. It is. I promise. So the reason why this is out already instead of me showing you opening the box is because there's two parts of this video. One is going to break down to the specifications, which you're on right now and watching. If you just want to focus on only the product and not know anything else about it, that's fine. Just skip to that part. I'll put down in the description when it starts into the opening box. So this video breaks in two segments. Don't forget. The specifications and the opening box. The opening box was the first part of the video, and the specifications is the next day, which is happening right now. So it's a little backwards, but I thought I'd give you guys the information just in case you're wondering. So let's get size right off the bat. So the dimensions of this Trijicon RMR is going to be for length 1.8 inches, for width it's going to be 1.1 inches, and overall height is going to be 1 inch. So it is pretty small, and if you're wondering if it has any type of magnification abilities, not really at all. It just basically it's a one-time zoom, so basically nothing. Whatever you see with your eyes is what you're going to be seeing through this optic. Okay, so let's talk about this particular model of the Trijicon RMR. So this one is a 7.0 MOA amber dot. And if you're wondering what the MOA stands for, it's minute of angle. And at 100 yards, for each one click is 1 MOA. And at the 100 yards, it moves about 1 inch for either elevation or deviation. So let's just say that you're 5 inches to the right of your target at 100 yards. You're going to click it 5 times for 5 inches, if that makes sense. So, and if you're wondering what the reticle looks like at daytime, I have a picture I can show you real quick in more detail. And if you're wondering why is it so perfect up close, that's how it looks like with the naked eye. Now there's some photos and quick little snippets you're going to see that in the opening box it looks kind of crappy, but that's how it looks like, I promise. And also this is how it looks like at night. It's very hard to see the reticle, barely even visible at all through the nighttime photo, but it is visible. I can promise you, you'll be able to see it. The camera just wasn't able to pick it up because the moon was too bright, unfortunately, but it is what it is. So if you're wondering what the Trijicon RMR is made out of, it is made from forged aluminum, which is obviously mil-spec, of course, and it's coated in a black paint, which protects it from scratching for the most part. Now, if you're wondering what the clear plastic part is, that's where the fiber optics are and the tritium is. So you have an imagery producing reticle. Now, if you're wondering if it's battery powered, no. It needs light to work. It can't work in pitch black. I'm just saying there's some people think they can go in a pitch black room and have an optic. That's not how that works. It needs some type of ambient light just to even have something produced out of it. Now, it will work with moonlight. I have proven that it does work. Like I said before, I'm sorry I wasn't able to show you that through the camera. It wasn't picking up for some reason, but I can promise you it does work. Another thing is the manufacturer date determines its life expectancy. So not the date of purchase, but the day that it was made. 15 years from that is the life that it's expected to live and die. You may have to replace it later on in life, say that maybe 6 or 5 years, depending on how much you use this optic. Now, if you leave it in the box and don't use it, obviously it's going to last 15 years, but let's be realistic. Chances of you keeping this for 15 is probably slim to none. I'm expecting to probably replace this by 5 years by how much I use my equipment all the time. So just keep that in mind while buying this. Okay, so let's get into the weight real quick. Now, I want to say something. I do have older ladies and gentlemen watch my show, or what younger generations call them, the boomers. So I always have arguments with older people, and yes, I do respect the elderly, of course. They like to say, oh, all you need is iron sights, and that's too much weight on a weapon, and oh, it's just too much. In reality, this is only 1.2 ounces. I can understand if you don't work out and you barely have any muscle mass to hold up a pencil, but for 1.2 ounces, this barely weighs anything at all. So let's get into the part where most people hate the most, the cost. So I'm a person that strongly believes in you buy cheap, you buy twice. That's why I always like to get the good, expensive stuff. Yes, it takes time to save up. It doesn't happen overnight. But I would rather buy the good stuff than a cheap knockoff Wish brand. So the MSRP on the Trijicon website sells this for $577. Now there are personal businesses, mom and pop shops that may sell for a little bit cheaper, or some place that like to gorge the price and sell for way more than it's actually worth. Now, plus tax and shipping, I did buy this off the Trijicon website, so it was a pretty penny because there is none in my town around me. But it's fine. I'd rather go to the company itself anyway, and now they know who I am. So it's a little pricey, but I promise you it's definitely worth your money. Okay, so now that I'm done with the specifications with this product, let's get into my own personal feelings about it. Now, the world is surrounded by negativity, and I hate negativity. I cannot stand it, even though it's an oxymoron. Two negatives make a positive, right? Anyway, I want to get the negative out of the way because this product is actually really good, and I don't have too many bad things to say about it. Now, these are my own personal feelings about the product. Doesn't mean it's bad and you shouldn't buy it. It's just how I personally feel about it. So let's get right into it. Number one, I cannot stand for sure is the aperture. It is a very, very small hole, and you have to be basically aiming through your iron sights just to see your reticle. Now, I tried many times where I look through it and I was like, oh my gosh, where's my reticle? Yes, some people may argue like, oh, then it's not sighted in or you're not aiming right. There's many arguments I can get into about that, but I'm so used to using iron sights that I know where they are, and then every time I bring my hand up, I know that I'm going to be perfectly in line with my iron sights and target. So everything is perfectly aligned. With this, I have to aim just slightly higher, so I have to train myself to aim a little bit higher up than I normally would with iron sights. But that's just time and training that it takes to get used to it. But like I said, the aperture of that hole is so small and it's hard to see. And it's just whatever. But it is what it is. I can get used to anything. Adapt and overcome. Another thing is, it's a little bit expensive. I'm not going to lie. I love when people like to show off like $1,000 watches and everything and blah, blah. It's a little bit expensive for a red dot. I'm not going to lie. It is. There's many other options out there. I'm not going to name them because I love and support Trijicon. But there are less expensive items. This is, it hurts to say, but it's a little overpriced in my opinion. But Trijicon does take pride in their warranties and their products, and they promise you that it will upstand to anything that you throw at it. And Trijicon lives up to their name, especially with the military and civilian sector. So Trijicon has the right to charge however they feel like is the correct price. And to be honest, it's not that bad of pricing for what you're getting out of it. As long as you give that warranty, because if you're not and you just abuse this, then you wasted your money. Just saying. Another thing is, this depends on light. Now you're probably saying, why would you buy it then if you wanted an optic that works day and night? I'm stupid, right? Hear me out. I bought it because it was an amber dot. They didn't have it for any other optics that I could find that was available, or if they even make them. But I bought it because it matches my Gucci Glock. And like I said, you'll have to find out in the future about why I chose that. It explains later on. So if you're wondering why I chose this, is because also it has no battery. So I don't need to constantly keep replacing it and losing my zero every time I take off the slide. But I thought it was way cooler that it uses light and it just based off where your environment is. So I thought that was really cool, and it's always ready to go as soon as you unholster, and you always got an optic. Now, there may be some arguments about that, but like I said, these are my own personal opinions. Alright, so now that I'm done with the negativity part of this review, I want to get to the positive part and why I love the Trijicon RMR dual illuminated reflex sight. So, right off the bat, it looks awesome, it's cool, it's sexy, and man, I just really love that. It is highly durable, highly recommended, and obviously I've used this while in the field. Now, I worked with some JTACs and obviously some other special operation unit guys that had all the high-speed gear that you've never seen before, and they had like this cool ACOG sight with a Trijicon RMR, and that's when I first got to experience with that. I was like, wow, that's some high-speed stuff, and man, they got all the cool stuff. So that was the first time I ever got to see one of these bad boys, and since then I always wanted one, but I never had anything to put it on. Now, this does go on handguns and rifles, but you need a special mount to put on a rifle. Most handgun slides that you buy that's meant for a red dot, not everyone. Don't take your drill press and like, oh, I got this TAG97, drill in your slide. I don't recommend that at all, but just saying, just in case anyone gets a crazy idea to do that. Another thing is it's small, compact, fits in your pocket if you really wanted to, barely has any weight on it, easy to install, and it's something that I really love, and especially the fact that it takes no battery so I don't lose my zero. Alright, but that's everything else, and I can definitely promise you this is TAG97 proof, and I love this optic. So if you're wondering, where is the open part of that video I was telling you? So the open box video is coming up right now. If you did skip this part, I recommend you go back to learn about specifications. If not, I don't care. The only thing I kindly ask you to do is hit that like button, and of course subscribe is always appreciated, because I love seeing my subscriber numbers go up and getting notifications saying new subscriber, new subscriber. It puts a smile on my face, and I really appreciate that you guys take the effort and time to do that, because it takes a lot of effort to do these videos for me and take time away from doing them. But I always love doing it, and I love making other people happy and giving you information. I love giving people information. That's something I always enjoy. Excuse me. But I hope you enjoyed the open box part of the video. Now keep in mind, like I said, the specifications is the second part of it, even though it was first. The open box is the actual first part of the video technically. So if I say anything that was not informational as it is now, let that be the reason why that makes sense. But I know I'm throwing a lot of words at you guys. I know it's a lot of information, but I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so let's get right into it. So the open box was before the specifications that you saw earlier in the video, of course. So the reason why that I may say that I already mentioned the specifications, technically I have not, but this is prior to the specifications video which you watched already. Just saying. Alright, so let's get right into it. I took off the label part, which had my address and name, so I don't want anybody knowing that. Other than that, it has not been tampered with or opened yet. Okay, so you get a nice little water resistance case. Let me get the cardboard box out of the way. Alrighty, so it looks like a really nice case. Now, if you're not aware, I've been waiting for this since April, so here we go. Okay. I thought this would be wrapped in a plastic seal or something. I don't know why it's just out in the open. Let me put that to the side. I'm assuming there's obviously stuff in here, so most of the time it's on the bottom, so let's just check that out. Okay, yeah, so we got that here. We'll get into that later. Let's put that back. I think that's how it goes. Oh man, I already ruined it already. Is there anything on top? No, there's not. Okay, let's keep that there right now. So, Packaging. A little disappointed. Not that it's the end of the world. I just thought that they would wrap this in a plastic seal or something to protect it from any type of dust or debris that somehow got inside the package. So let's examine the product real quick. I'll cover up my number. And if you are not aware that this right here is a Bible verse, if you want to know what that is, you can just look it up on Google. Other than that, I don't really see any imperfections. Oh, I do have a scratch right here, it looks like. Okay, that's kind of sad. Any imperfections on the lens? I don't really see. Yep, there's our optic right there. So you can even see the reticle. So everything looks good right out of the package. Nothing seems to be damaged. I love that tint. Other than that, I don't see any issues. So just a little scratch on it. I'm assuming that looks like someone's fingernail. See if we can do the same thing. Nope, that could have been a screwdriver then. Okay. Well, it is what it is. I'm not going to cry over spilled milk, right? It's going to get scratched either way. And make sure you don't remove that, apparently. You void out your warranty. So let's not do that. So first impressions right out of the box. Like I said, the packaging, not so happy with. And these are my actual real emotions. They're not staged. Because I just opened this. And this is what I find. Other than that, it seems to be fine. And I'm okay with it. It is what it is. I just think the box is a little over dramatic for what literally came inside the packages. There's nothing. Yeah. Big box. Big package. Little optic. Wherever floats your boat, I guess. But at least the padding is really nice and soft, so I know it protected it. Okay, so let's go over what the product comes with. So obviously you get the case, the two padded foams, obviously the optic itself, which we go over. Don't worry, we're going to go over that. And of course, Trijicon's famous sticker. I have 4 of these, so I'm probably going to give that to one of my friends. So I'm going to put that on the side. And I'm assuming this is for the warranty. Yep, oh, look at that, I was right. So, limited lifetime warranty. If you want to look at it real quick. I'm just glancing at it. I don't want to take up much of your time. You can pause the video if you want to read it. But I'm going to read that later. So I definitely need to send that in. That's very important. We'll make sure I get my warranty. Alright, look how new this book is. Oh, man. There's nothing about a new book I don't love. The smell and how the spine is really intact. Oh, I don't even want to open it. It's so nice and crisp. If you guys want to take a peek. Try to show you just a little bit. I don't want to open up too much. I love reading books, but I hate that, you got to break them in and everything, so yeah. But that's everything you would need to know, and if anything you need to look, oh, I ruined it already. Oh well. But if there's anything you really needed to know, you can just look it up online, of course. We do live in the 21st century. And of course, you got your little Allen key, 2 screws to screw into your slide if you don't already have screws for it. I'd recommend using Trijicon's just in case, even though some slides do come with it. So I'm going to put that to the side. I don't know what this is. Let's open it up. Oh, is this a poster? Okay. I'm assuming that's what this is. Maybe. Or is it... Oh, wow. Okay. It's a lot. I'm going to start from the bottom. Show you a little glance. It's basically just going over what Trijicon has to offer. I do have a couple of these iron sights, so I recommend them. Really good. And of course, they have other scopes. I'm going to have to bend it. So you have many options, of course, from Trijicon. And this is the other side of it. I'm going to start from the bottom to the top. It's like a little pamphlet, basically, just showing you what they offer. So if you're interested in buying something else, it just shows you, hey, we got other stuff besides like little red dots. Alright, so that's really about it with what the package comes with. I'm going to fold that later. Anyway, let's get a little bit more into the product itself now. Alright, so now I'm going to show you what it looks like. Now, I know you already saw like a quick little preview of me showing you the lens through pictures and everything in the beginning of the video, and then obviously when I opened the box I showed a little bit. So let's get a little bit more into detail with that reticle. Okay, so before we get started, I want to say that if you do follow my Instagram, you do know I've been building a Gucci Glock for a while now, since April. The only reason why I haven't shown any pictures, except for like a couple of sneak peeks, is because I've been waiting for this. Now, I was originally going to show my whole Glock, but I feel like that'll be taken away from the product and the reason why I made this video. Now, of course, this month, hopefully, I'm going to do the review of my Gucci Glock, but here's another sneak peek if you're not already tracking. Just hit that follow button on that Instagram and you get any updates that's going on with it. So anyway, besides that, let's get back into it. So obviously you already could tell that I already got Trijicon sights on here. Now they are a little worn out for me using the holster, so this one is basically doesn't even show the label anymore, but you could definitely tell they were Trijicon and they still are Trijicon. Anyway, so how to install it? It's really easy. I already took out the screws already, so we don't have to waste any time with that. So I'm just going to take off that plate. I'm now going to grab my slide and my RMR. I'm going to find that sweet spot where it locks in place, as you can see. And it should just fall right in line. There we go. Oh, it's giving me a little hard time. I don't know why. There we go. Okay. Like I said, it's not hard to put it in. Just got to find a sweet spot. All right, now that's on there. We'll make sure that the iron sights and that dot are basically co-witness, and they look like they're good to me. Yeah, they look fine. Okay, so now I'm going to take my screws, put them in. Okay, there's one. Now these are not the ones that the Trijicon came with. If you're wondering, the reason why is because this slide has a certain sizing, so they give you screws that are meant for any type of optics, such as the RMR. So the ones that the RMR came with do not fit this, unfortunately. I tried, and if I was to keep screwing it in, it would have broke it and basically ruined my RMR and my slide together, which have been very painfully costly. Now, I did not tie this down super tight for demonstration purposes only, to show you that how easy it is to actually install. Now, there's going to be a little play because I didn't tie it down perfectly, but as you can tell, that it is pretty solid just by me basically tying it down. Now, there's people who say that you lose your zero if you take this off. Now, the argument I have with that, I don't know how true that is. I can't say I found out yet, but I will say that it's not like a Picatinny rail where it can be moved slightly off if you're moving it or taking off or reattaching it. The thing is, there's no rails. It's one solid piece. It goes in the same place every single time. And if you tie it down basically to the bottom where it stays in place, it should be basically zeroed all the time. So I don't know why people are saying if you take this off, it's no longer zeroed. I don't know how true that is. But from my experience with optics, I don't think you're going to lose your zero. Let's just say that you need to get this receracoated, because obviously you can tell that I've been wearing this out quite a bit, breaking it in. Anyway, the fact is that it's good. It's not going to go anywhere. And you can tell it's really nice. Really, it is, you know. There it is. So you can tell it's really nice. There's no issues with it whatsoever. And it just looks really beautiful. Like, just look at that. You can't tell me it doesn't look beautiful at all. So really easy installation, nothing too fancy or too hard. And if you obviously want to take it off, so it's hopefully I can do this in the same clip without editing it. Yeah, that's not tight. Just gotta find that sweet spot. Come on, there we go. Come here, you. One's out. Come on. I had a few Red Bulls this morning, so I'm a little shaky if that's what you're wondering. Since I don't sleep at all. Anyway, easy to install, easy to uninstall, and obviously your slide is not damaged in any way. So if you want to, you can put your cover back on and you're good to go. Other than that, that's really about it for installing. So overall, the Trijicon RMR dual illuminated 7-point MOA amber dot is definitely highly recommended for me, and definitely TAG97 approved, and I love this optic 100%. If you enjoyed this video, even though I know it was really long, trust me, I know, make sure you hit that like button, and of course subscribe. It is always highly appreciated. I love you all. I got nothing more for you. I'll see you next time, okay? You take care. Thank you.